Now, other interesting cultural news, you have Ben and Jerry's slamming the United States Supreme Court because of their ruling on affirmative action. Now, this happened a couple weeks back, but it looks like, fascinatingly enough, it started to trend on Twitter a little bit as more and more people started to dig down in Ben and Jerry's because they famously tweeted on the 4th of July that the United States should give Mount Rushmore back to the indigenous people, and it was on stolen land. The hypocrisy is hilarious because their headquarters is on, of course, indigenous land as well. That story actually comes in a couple minutes in our business blunder, the section of the day, as the situation evolves. Now, specifically, they tweeted they were fervently against this, which, again, you make ice cream for a living. You give people, it's basically a diabetes mechanism. Shove this cream down your throat, your life doesn't get better. Why are they talking about any Supreme Court state? Unless the Supreme Court state specifically said, we're going to rule that this tax is unconstitutional on sugar, or something like that. Or they rule that the federal government can still, in fact, tax sugar or corn syrup for their products. That makes sense. It's an ingredient for their product or their swill. That would make more perfect sense to me if I were to think of the correlation between ice cream and the Supreme Court. Now, they actually came out and they tweeted, quote, today's SCOTUS ruling against affirmative action gutted a crucial tool in the fight against white supremacy. By overturning decades of precedent and ruling further entrenches the legacy of slavery and racism while perpetuating white privilege. Now, they actually tweeted twice because their idiocracy cannot be contained to one tweet because of the limit count. The other tweet shortly came after said, quote, well, let them eat cake obliviousness today. The majority pulls the ripcord and announces colorblindness for all, but by legal fiat. But deeming race irrelevant, the law does not make it so in life. Actually, no, that was even more idiocracy. That was Justice Ketanji Brown, the one who's not a biologist, when they asked, does she know what a woman is? And she said, I'm not a biologist, I can't tell you. That was when she's being nominated to Supreme Court, and they're actually asking her questions, which, of course, very few people actually answer those questions. Now, again, it just shows the disgusting racism of thinking the only way someone will succeed is if you give them preferential treatment based on their race. The best thing about the United States and capitalism in general is those who produce the best results get the best rewards. And you treat someone based on their merit, not by the pigment of their skin. And it'll be interesting to see, as this boycott against Ben & Jerry starts to gain a little steam, it's gaining steam on social media. Will it translate to sales? Their parent company Unilever went down a little bit in terms of their stock value, but it's not dramatic. It's been single-digit percentage points. And it'll be interesting to see, does it gain steam or does it fizzle out? As we kind of have a real freakonomics situation where sometimes it's a big boycott with Bud Light, and other times the culture and the consumers don't really care. It doesn't gain the traction like other boycotts do. And time shall tell to see if this is one of those instances, or people just forget about it and they turn on the cable box and tune in something else. Time shall tell. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Don't forget, we're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of July, so I greatly appreciate you clicking that button. Also, don't forget to take the time to comment, like. All the feedback is greatly appreciated to try to make the channel and the show better and better. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.